Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode 2 of the Overland trailer build. So in this episode what we're going to do is we're going to extend the length of the tongue of the trailer, and we're also going to be installing this, which is a 360 degree hitch that will basically help us in the off-road setting. So this is a product that I got off from E-Trailer. It's called their lock and roll setup, and it's a 30-inch extension that will basically extend the length of the trailer, and then this is going to be for the vehicle end, and then this is the part that's going to hook onto the trailer. Now, in order for us to hook that on, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get rid of this coupler, and it's welded on. It'd be a lot easier if it was just bolted on. We just remove the bolts, but we're going to have to cut through this. Now, where I think I want to cut, if you look under here, this extends all the way to here, so I think I'm just going to mark an area right through here and then just cut this part off, and then that new receiver, that new tube should slide right into this receiver, and then we should be able to bolt it in right through this hole right through here. So in order for us to do that, we're going to have to get this tire off, get this bolt off, mark our line, and then cut. You can see the trailer was originally blue. Now that we got the tire out of the way and the chains out of the way, we're going to go ahead and find the end of this tube, which is right here. So really there's two ways you can go about doing this. We could take a grinder and just try to break all these welds right through here, and then on the other side. And theoretically, there's actually welds underneath here as well, so this is all welded. So you'd have to break these welds, these welds, these welds, and then on the opposite side. So it's a lot more work doing it that way, or I could just chop it off right here and then have access to that tube. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to chop it here. Now we'll grab an angle grinder, or a flat disc I should say, and just kind of clean up these edges. And I do want to make sure that tube is going to fit in here as well. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Alright, so it's always something. So theoretically this should fit. However, if you look inside the tongue trailer here, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but there's this little groove right here, and it runs all the way down the spine of the trailer. It kind of sticks up right there, and that little piece is just enough that I cannot get this hitch receiver to go in. And I only need it to go back as far as where this hole is, right on the side, and that's where it's going to pin in. Probably right here, honestly. So, hi Lex. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find a way to grind this little piece down, you know, probably a good, I don't know, 8 inches or so. So let me figure out a way to do that. I mean, the easiest thing to do would take a flat disc to it, but you can't get a flat disc in there because it's too small. So, I mean, this theoretically fits in there, but I mean, you're going to have to come in at kind of a weird angle, and I don't know, it's going to be a pain in the butt to file that down. I actually do have a file. Let's see if that actually does anything. that's going to take forever. Problem is, it's like when we get further back in here, those are going to be really hard to get through. All right, let's try this little guy. Well, to start, I guess my other option I could do too is I could notch out like a little hole right through here. Not much of one, but it might be easier than trying to notch out, get rid of that little line all the way to here. All right, that is not happening. So new plan. I measured out where exactly this little notch is in the tube here, which is not directly center, it's just to the left a little bit. So I did, what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna notch this out. I'm gonna take a flap disc along this line, and I don't have to take much off from it, just enough to get it to slide through that tube. Well, after we notched that out, we were able to get this extension on. I got my holes to line up, but they're not fully lining up. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take a drill bit and then just kind of drill the inner portion out so it'll pass all the way through. I can get a screwdriver to go through, it's just the bolt's not going to go through. Alright, good deal. So now, let's take all this apart and hit it with paint, the spots that we ground down, so we make sure we don't have any rust in the future. Now that we got our trailer fully back together, I did put the wheel back on. There's a couple things that I have not gotten around to yet. One of them is the wiring. I'm going to have to extend it. You know, it's just kind of long enough to get to the very end here, but if you turn it all, you're not going to have much give with this. So I was going to redo the wiring anyway, so that'll be at a later video. The other thing too is the safety chains. They normally hook in right here, and I'll probably still potentially keep them there, maybe even drill a hole further up here. But if I keep them here, I'm going to need longer chains than what I currently have right now. So I'm going to show you guys right now how to hook up this end to the end of the vehicle. Put these up, away. This right in here. Back up and over, down. Go ahead and put your pin in. So now with this new setup, it articulates two different ways. So this here will articulate left and right, And then this here, it's on a swivel right here, so it will actually articulate 360 degrees. So if you're off-road and you're getting bound up, like say if your Jeep is going up an incline and the trailer's coming down the incline, if you have like the traditional ball, that ball can actually pop right off. Whereas with this, you won't have that binding just because it's going to be able to articulate a lot better. I've seen a lot of these people off-roading with off-road trailers with this kind of coupler hitch, and it seems to work awesome. So that's the main reason why I wanted to go with this setup. That and this added 30 inches of length to it as well, which does make the trailer a little bit longer. And I was looking to do that just for the simple fact that going down the road, it's going to handle bumps a little bit better. And then I don't know if any of you have tried to back up a trailer that's really short. It jackknifes so easily. So this will be a lot better for backing up, and I think it's just going to handle bumps a little bit better. And then the fact that we have the articulating hitch now, it's just going to be able to handle off-road much better. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for checking it out. Like I said, we have multiple more episodes coming in this series. I think the next episode, we're going to try to get the roof rack on this thing. But regarding this hitch and roll system, I think it's going to work amazing, especially for off-road purposes, going up inclines and through crazy obstacles. I think this is going to give us a lot more protection than the traditional ball style will. If it's your first time visiting the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date with this build and all our other future videos.